Welcome to today's video. This is going to be a really special video today because we are touring one of my favorite neighborhoods in Tucson, Sam Hughes. Hang tight because in this video we're going to take a tour of some of the most iconic streets in this neighborhood, along with touring one of the largest parks that's part of the neighborhood and one of the largest parks in Central Tucson. I'm also going to take you through a historic home located in Sam Hughes so you can get to see why these homes get the reputation that they do, what makes them so unique, why they're so desirable. And lastly, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you from a local's perspective, somebody who's lived in Sam Hughes for several years now, what my favorite part about this neighborhood is that only a local who lives here would really be able to appreciate. Hey, I'm Rich, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about lifestyle, real estate, and new builds in Tucson and surrounding areas, then you've definitely come to the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell for notifications so you can be the very first to learn everything that you want to know. Now, if you're not familiar with Sam Hughes, but you're considering neighborhoods in Tucson, and you want to be specifically in Central Tucson around the University of Arizona, I would argue that there is probably no better neighborhood than Sam Hughes. And I'm probably not alone in that. I would imagine that most locals in Tucson, if you ask them what's the best neighborhood in Central Tucson or what's the best neighborhood near the University of Arizona, my guess would be most of them would probably say Sam Hughes. So it's definitely not unique to just me. And some of the reasons that Sam Hughes are so unique is it's one of the earliest historic neighborhoods in the city of Tucson. Along with the history are the homes. And most of the homes in Sam Hughes were built in the early 1900s when the neighborhood was absolutely thriving. They were building everything. And really the earliest pioneers in Tucson built homes in this area and ultimately lived here way back in the day. So many of these homes, like this home here, this is a brand new construction home, was built in the last 12 months, and an example of a brand new build in an area like Sam Hughes that is just filled with history and homes that were built in the early 1900s. So as I take you for a walk, I've got some stats on Sam Hughes that I wanted to share. And yes, I'm using Google as assistance to remembering because my brain don't work like that. I wish I could just recite everything, but that is not the case. So to make sure I hit the points accurately, I'll make sure that I consult my phone here for some memory cues. But you've got Himmel Park, which is not too far away from here. It's kind of situated right in the middle of Sam Hughes. Big 24-acre park, tons of different activities, large grass fields, tennis, baseball, soccer. They've got a pool there, multiple playgrounds. They have a library there. So Himmel Park is definitely a place that is kind of a staple in Sam Hughes. I know I'm gonna mention this at a lot of different points in this video, but the landscaping, like the mature trees, the grass, the palm trees, you just get the oleanders. I mean, you just get a ton of mature landscaping. And when you're driving through a neighborhood, walking through a neighborhood, considering buying in a neighborhood, if you're anything like me, it makes it look nice. It makes it look like, I'd pay a little bit more to live there. And that is kind of what you see in Sam Hughes. You see average price points that are higher than the average in Tucson. Probably one of the more expensive Central Tucson neighborhoods, but a lot of that is the demand that drives the price in Sam Hughes as well. So as we walk, I'm just talking with you a little bit about some of the main drivers. The proximity to the University of Arizona is also really important. Sam Hughes, its western boundary is Campbell Avenue, which on the other side of Campbell Avenue is the University of Arizona campus. And 3rd Street, which is probably one of the most predominant and iconic streets in Sam Hughes runs east to west, and as soon as you cross Campbell on 3rd, it becomes University Boulevard, which runs directly through the center of campus. So for any of you that are planning on attending any of the University of Arizona sporting events, that is something that is really easy access to the tailgates, McHale Center where all the basketball happens, the football stadium's right there as well. So it really is kind of the epicenter. 3rd Street turning into University. Just kind of walking through, like check this place out on the corner here. Just kind of unique, different. And then you've got some like, this is like a modern, it's got like block, we'll go walk past that real quick. I've lived in this neighborhood for several years, and every time I go out, I see a new house. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I hadn't seen that before. And I think that's one of the charms of living in Sam Hughes is it is very unique. It's got a lot of differentiation between the houses, the landscaping, the feel, and it's got a lot of that Tucson culture that's preserved as well with all of the history in the neighborhood. So if that's something that you're into, this may very well be the perfect neighborhood for you. Check this out. Pretty cool, huh? Can't see much of the house, but very modern. Our house is modern, so I can appreciate that they put a little bit of a modern spin on it. There's 2 houses over here that I wanted to show you. Another reason that I personally like Sam Hughes is its walkability. Now, for some of you, that may not be as important. Walkability, you're close to restaurants, bars, ice cream shops, the University of Arizona, coffee shops, breakfast places, you name it. I can walk within 15 minutes and I have so many different options at my fingertips. And personally, I love that. I love to be outside when there's 7 or 8 months of beautiful weather here in Tucson. It's awesome to be able to just hop on the bike, throw the kids in a stroller, or just take off by myself on a run, or just walking through the neighborhood, clearing my thoughts. I love the walkability of Sam Hughes, and I think that that is another reason why so many people choose Sam Hughes as well, because it's very walkable. Let me know in the comments whether you're more of a person who would prefer a neighborhood that is walkable, really close to a lot of things, has a lot of vibrant atmosphere, a lot of activities going on, or whether you would prefer more of a low-key, private, scenic, quiet area. It's a little bit of a different style for different people. It's funny too, because it kind of changes depending on what season of life you're in. I can sense that later in my life, I may be the latter. Right now, it's fun to be in a very walkable neighborhood that's very alive like Sam Hughes. And I can see that at some point in the future, maybe a larger property with a little bit more peace, quiet, some space between my neighbors. I don't know. Maybe it's a season of life thing, but I can tell you this. If you're in the season of life where you want to be neighborly and you want to have amenities close and you want uniqueness and charm and very neighborly. I almost hugged a cactus right now. Almost hugged a cactus. That one right there. Welcome to Tucson. Then Sam Hughes is for you. Definitely put it on your list. And I'm just walking you through what makes this neighborhood Sam Hughes. Why do so many people appreciate this neighborhood? Ooh, this next house up here, really cool. Check this out. Check that out. Patio spaces, outdoor living. Beautiful. One of my favorite properties in Sam Hughes. Got kind of a long driveway to the back. Kind of like a mission style Spanish revival. I'm not the expert when it comes to blending the different types of terms, but it's got a little bit of that in there. As I'm walking, I can actually hear the University of Arizona. The band is probably practicing because I don't think there's a game today, but you can hear the school bell. I know when we're in our backyard, me and my little girls, and we're playing, oftentimes we'll hear the school bell that chimes every 2 or 3 hours. And my daughter will say, oh, it's time. So you are very, very close to the University of Arizona and so many other things. Lots of conveniences. There's a glimpse at just some of the different architecture that you see in Sam Hughes. Very like Santa Fe, Mexican revival, Spanish revival. Lots of different character, different colors, different window sizes, different styles. Mid-century modern here. Pretty cool. Big glass, low ceilings. Southwestern style house here. Lots of mature landscaping, which kind of a subtle thing, but it does make a big difference. I know from my own home buying experience, how long it takes to grow trees. Mature landscaping is a very underrated thing. Check out this corner house here. Quaint, simple. See a lot of these in Sam Hughes. Now this is where it starts to get really exciting. Now, I mentioned in this video from the beginning that there's a part of Sam Hughes that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite things about this neighborhood. And to be honest with you, for the people that are local to Sam Hughes or local to Tucson and know about Sam Hughes, I think this is really one of the things that sets it apart. This is probably one of the most beautiful streets in Central Tucson, and it's right smack dab in the middle of Sam Hughes. My wife, our daughters, our dog, we walk down this street several times a week because it's just beautiful. And it's got this mature landscaping, palm trees that kind of line this street. Now that's the University of Arizona, just on the other side of that traffic. That's Campbell Avenue. This is 3rd Street. And some of the highest priced homes in Sam Hughes are located on this street. Now, really, where this street really changes is right here at the corner of Plummer and 3rd Street. It you can kind of tell because you get these street lights that start, and they only start at this corner. So as we take a walk down this street, I'm gonna point out some of the homes that are just incredible. This big house here, it's hard to see because it's got so much mature landscaping around it, but amazing house. This house recently sold. Big corner lot, big backyard, guest house. I mean, just check the landscaping out. Doesn't it do something? Comment below, let me know if you guys think landscaping is a big plus when you're buying a house. From curb appeal to giving you some privacy, kind of gives you some functionality. Check this guy out. Cool roof tiles, cool landscaping. We're coming up on one of my absolute favorite houses. 3rd Street is also the main east to west bike path that goes through the University of Arizona, and it runs all the way down way east of Tucson, several miles. So you're gonna get a lot of traffic from people running, biking, rollerblading, skating, you name it, walking. I'm training for a marathon, another marathon in December. So my main route, I'm running 4 times a week right now. I'm running down this street, there and back, probably 7 to 8 times a week. And one of my favorite things about Sam Hughes in general is how active it is. You're just gonna get a ton of people out and about, walking their dog, walking, they say hi, they wave, they're biking. It's just vibrant. It's just nice to live in a neighborhood. I appreciate it. Living in a neighborhood that has so much going on, so much life happening. I'm very frequently running down this street, and there is one of my favorite houses in Sam Hughes. Now, that architecture is very like European inspired. You can kind of see they're dressed up for Halloween right now. It is October, but this is just such a unique house that you don't see a lot of homes like this in Sam Hughes. It just stands out. It's just something different. Always got their grass kind of manicured. Just one really cool example of the different houses you're gonna see. Another one of my favorite houses is directly across the street. This brick house here. It's got a big metal roof, corner lot, but it's got lots of awesome landscaping around it. Let's go take a peek at that. You guys are getting the VIP tour right now. Let me know if you like this, comment below. I'd love to do more videos like this if it's something that you guys enjoy and it's helpful to kind of understand what neighborhoods have to offer. Yeah, just check this out. You got the Papagos, you got some pomegranate trees, big windows with shutters. It's got this really cool red accented front door. It's got this massive, massive tree. Me and my little girl, we call this the octopus tree because it looks like a bunch of octopus arms. There's the octopus tree coming out of my head. So 3rd Street, beautiful street. You can hear it's a slightly windy day. You can kind of hear the trees rustling in the background, and it's a great day for a walk. Turn this around so you can see it. One of my favorite things about Sam Hughes is its location and proximity to the University of Arizona. Just to look at some of the houses here. What style, I'm curious, for you watching this, what style home is your favorite? If you're into historic homes, do you have a favorite style? Maybe you don't. Maybe you're not even sure what it's called. Maybe try to describe it and I'll comment back. I'll reply, see if I can't suggest what style you're alluding to. Every time I walk through this neighborhood, I feel like I find a new house that I love. Check out this. Big grass, front yard. Isn't that cool? This is Sam Hughes. This is what Sam Hughes is known for. Now, this street in particular, because it's a bike path, because it's the main path going into the University of Arizona, probably why it's kind of the gem of Sam Hughes neighborhood. But by no means does that mean that there's not just tons of other houses like this off of 3rd Street, because there is. Sam Hughes is just filled with incredible architecture, unique home designs, different lot sizes, different size homes, pretty big range in price point. Definitely gonna break $1 million here on 3rd Street, or very, very close to it. But you can also be below the average price in Tucson in Sam Hughes as well. Now that's rare. I happened to buy a house several years ago that was one of those rarities, and we did a lot of renovating and put a lot of sweat equity into it ourselves to be able to get into the neighborhood, but it is doable. I've sold several homes in Sam Hughes at or right around that average price point for Tucson, so it's totally doable. You just gotta have the right agent, the right strategy, and it helps if your agent is someone who lives there. They can give you the inside scoop. So if you're looking at Sam Hughes, I can't imagine there's probably a better person that can help you out. So make sure you grab my contact information out of the description. I'm really easy to get a hold of. Communication is definitely a pillar of my business, so we can connect, text, call, email. I've got a Calendly link in there. We can do a Zoom call, Zoom chat. If you want to get face-to-face, would love to do that. Another cool thing that I wanted to mention, during Halloween, Sam Hughes is very popular. And there's actually a parade that the University of Arizona does. Well, I don't know if it's so much of a parade as it is the U of A band comes marching down the street from the campus into Sam Hughes. I don't know how far they come. They don't come too far. They probably come to the first stop sign down there. But it's kind of fun on Halloween night. You know, you get the band, the University of Arizona band coming and joining in. You got all the trick-or-treaters, the kids, the family. Everybody's got their candy buckets and their drinks and celebrating. It's just a lot of fun. We've done that several years in a row and looking forward to doing it again this year. So if you're looking for friendly atmosphere, a vibrant neighborhood with a lot to offer, a lot going on, being connected, very neighborly, doesn't get much better in Central Tucson than Sam Hughes. Behind me is a perfect example of one of the historic homes in Sam Hughes. This house showcases a lot of what we see in so many of the historic homes in Sam Hughes. You can just kind of take a look. Got a corner lot that has just a unique style there. Across the street, another unique style. This home has kind of a blend between some updated features as well as showcasing some of the original building components that I'll showcase for you. Definitely something to be admired. And I think a lot of the reason why people like homes in Sam Hughes, because of all of the character. As soon as you come in, you're kind of greeted by this courtyard area that you can see here. Now, because Sam Hughes is very neighborly and it's close proximity to so much, it's very, very walkable. So whether you're walking to the University of Arizona for a game, whether you're walking across the street for nightlife, restaurants, bars, ice cream shops, you name it, lunch, there's tons of places that are within close walking distance to Sam Hughes. And I think because of that, I feel like that kind of translates to some of the outdoor spaces as well. You're gonna see a lot of these patio spaces, very indicative of a Sam Hughes house. And this is just a great place for people to gather, for people to kind of spend some time talking before or after a game. Let's take a peek inside the house. So as we walk in this house, one of the things that I definitely want to point out is this house has been opened up. They've taken out some walls, they've opened up the living area, the common area, which this is a great example of what can be done with some of these older homes. One of my favorite features is when they save and kind of preserve these old original oak floors. They stain them, sand them. I mean, these are original from early 1900s. And so much of this home has just been preserved perfectly. You can still kind of feel that creak, hear that creak in the floor, which is very common in older homes like this. But this is kind of like new under the hood. It still has that Sam Hughes style from the outside. It's got some of the original building components on the inside that are kind of highlighted just for character and to kind of preserve that charm. But it's got brand new cabinets, appliances, countertops, brand new lighting. It's got a more updated, modern floor plan. A lot of the things that you will find, a lot of the homes that you will see in Sam Hughes, sometimes they have been added onto over time in different phases too. So like one addition, then 20 years later, another addition. Sometimes what you'll find with homes like that is you'll get kind of this functional obsolescence. So it's like you have to walk through a bedroom to get to the back door. Or you have to walk through a bedroom, my favorite, you have to walk through a bedroom to get to a bedroom. Functionally kind of obsolete. In this case, you're gonna see that this house doesn't have that. You will find that in some of the houses in Sam Hughes, but sometimes they're smart in the way that they design things and they're able to avoid that. But as you can see, this kitchen, living room, and dining room setup, very modernized. It's got new paint. This house has had paint throughout, new baseboards, new doors, new electrical, new fans, new AC. See some of the original, or not the original doors, the updated doors. Let's take a peek in the bedroom. Decent sized bedrooms. Some of these older homes will have smaller bedrooms. You know, I think it's subjective what people consider a good sized bedroom. Generally in Sam Hughes, I would say you're looking at probably 10 by 12, maybe 10 by 11. So not huge, but ample. You can fit a bed, a dresser. Primary bedrooms, a little bit bigger, but I would say that goes mostly for guest bedrooms. You can take a look at this bathroom. Something cool that's in the kitchen and the bathrooms is this leathered granite. I don't know if you can see that texture on there, but it kind of has like a, I don't know, kind of like a raw stone feel to it. They call it leathered granite. I had not seen that before. This house. Here's a look at the shower. So something unique, kind of a cool blend of some modern materials with some older materials. As sometimes you'll find, this room is much bigger than the room we were just in. This room is probably maybe 11 by 14. So a little bit larger. Double closets in this room, double closets in that bedroom that I just showed you. And I'll take you down to the back of the house so you can kind of see that as well. One thing to keep in mind is if you like the older homes, if you like the different styles and the different history, it's really, really cool. And there are some challenges that come with buying older historic homes that you don't necessarily have to worry about if you're buying a newer house. I think that it really pays off, and part of the reason that so many people hire me is because, especially in these historic neighborhoods, it pays to have somebody who has bought and sold and remodeled historic homes, appraised historic homes, and helped so many other people buy and sell historic homes. I've been through the process myself many, many times. I understand what to look for, what some of the challenges are, some of the red flags, and ultimately if you're gonna make a purchase like a piece of real estate and you really like the historic neighborhoods like Sam Hughes, you might as well get somebody who's got the experience that can put it behind you and make sure that it's a good positive purchase and a good positive experience long term. Grab my contact information out of the description. You can call, text, email. We can chat over Zoom. There's a Calendly link in there. grab that. I'd love to be a resource for you if you're considering buying a historic home or an older home and you'd like some guidance. Take a look at the primary bathroom here. Again, with that leathered granite. So that is actually the back door through the laundry room from the kitchen, just so you can get oriented. Back door there. You have a second back door off of the primary bedroom right here to the patio. I mentioned the patio spaces. Oh, something that I wanted to note. Fireplace. Yes, we have fireplaces in Tucson. And yes, more importantly, we do use them occasionally. When the ambiance calls for it, of course, Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, it's a cold night. Maybe you're trying to set the mood a little bit, you know, whatever the case may be that requires a fire. Fireplaces do come in handy even when you live in the desert. When we come into the backyard, this is one of my favorite spaces. They just did this backyard correct. Pavered, got these big pavered planters, all irrigated. You got this outdoor kitchen barbecue area. You've got a large covered porch for some shade. These huge mesquite trees. You'll see these a lot in Arizona, specifically in Tucson. These are mesquite trees. They're big, hardy trees, provide a lot of shade. Just a great area. When it cools off a little bit, hang out by the fire. Another thing that you're gonna find in Sam Hughes that is very common and something that unique is the amount of guest houses that are in Sam Hughes. So many of the homes in Sam Hughes have a guest house. We live in Sam Hughes, have lived here for several years. Our house has a guest house. And the cool thing about a guest house is it adds a ton of functionality. I think if you're not used to a guest house or you haven't thought about that as an option, you might not be thinking, it's not really useful, I don't have a use for it. But let me name a couple options. A detached office. You could have in-law suite, multi-generational living. You know, as kids get older, they get into their teenage years, you've got that. You've got additional rental potential if you wanted to rent it out, create some additional income. These are just a couple examples of what people have done with guest houses, what we've done with our guest house. And that extra functionality just adds a ton of flexibility, really. Just adds flexibility with the house so that we have different options to utilize the space. And this is the guest house. So I'm standing in the living room. It's got a little couch, little kitchen, small little stove, 4-burner stove with an oven, small little efficiency refrigerator. I'm trying to figure out what that thing's called. Got a little bathroom in here, toilet, sink, shower, and I'll take you into the bedroom. So queen size bed, plenty of space. Sam Hughes is predominantly owner occupied homes. There are a lot of rental properties, not a lot, but I would say probably 30 to 40% of the homes are tenant occupied. The large majority of them are owner occupied, and homes in Sam Hughes, generally speaking, they don't come on the market too often. And when they do, there tends to be a pretty high demand for them. Because of that, the prices stay a little bit higher than the average in Tucson. The neighborhood has just been very in demand since it first started. Sam Hughes actually was kind of a pioneering neighborhood way back in the day when Tucson was mainly dirt roads. Sam Hughes was the neighborhood that all of the local pioneers lived at the time, the business owners, the politicians, the commerce individuals, anybody who was anybody. Sam Hughes was kind of the spot to be. And I think that history is still very much preserved today because it's a large, vibrant neighborhood that is full of lots of locals, whether it's professional people that work at the university, professionals that work locally here in Tucson, snowbirds, part-time visitors. I mean, it really is quite a melting pot for people that enjoy Tucson and what Tucson has to offer. Sam Hughes is definitely kind of the heartbeat of what makes Tucson unique and the culture that surrounds Tucson. So there is an elementary school located right in the middle of Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes Elementary School. highly regarded school. Got a lot of friends that live centrally, heard a lot of great things about them. If you're curious about school ratings for Sam Hughes or schools surrounding Sam Hughes, definitely take a look. It's better that you go directly to the source of that because it is so subjective depending on what you're looking for. But I've heard really great things about Sam Hughes Elementary from neighbors, from friends that live locally. Definitely do your research, but it is nice that they've got a school right in the middle. It's kind of cool to think about just walking our little girl to school in the morning and being able to do that. Kind of cute, right? Holding her hand, walking her to school, a couple minutes there and back. So behind me are the tennis courts, pickleball courts. Now they just converted, I think it was 3 or 4 of these tennis courts into pickleball courts. And as you can see behind me, they're brand new, they're nice, they're open to the public. I think there's a small fee that you pay. Me and my friends have come several times on the weekends. It's like $7 for half a day or something like that. Very affordable, very cool. Only one of several different activities that you can do here at the park. They do have restrooms right next door. You can see them behind me here. Got picnic tables. You do have some shade. So you've got 6 pickleball courts here. And I think it was 3, maybe it was 2. It was 2 tennis courts that they converted into 6 pickleball courts. And that was done, I think that was completed early this year, 2024. But pickleball is a lot of fun. I'm not an expert at it by any means, but racquetball has typically been my go-to racket sport. Ping pong I'll get down with a little bit too, you know, for any of those ping pong fans out there. I get you, I see you. This pickleball is a lot of fun though. If you haven't played, highly recommend it. It's kind of deceivingly difficult. The cool thing is like, you can put as much effort into it as you want. If you're not feeling super athletic, it doesn't necessarily require that, but you better have some good hand-eye for sure. Let's take a walk around this real quick. So 6 pickleball courts. You've got 4 tennis courts here, and then there is another 2 tennis courts over there. Hours of operation, some information about the fees, basic info about what some of the events that they have coming up that you can check out. So yeah, you can see that this is just a nice area to hang out. You've got shade, you've got nice mature trees. Like I said, they do have a bathroom, public restroom. They do have a covered picnic area here. And let's take a walk into the park because this is one of the largest parks in Central Tucson. It's located right in the heart of Sam Hughes neighborhood, which is really convenient. Since me and my family live in Sam Hughes, we're at the park probably once or twice a week, whether it be taking the dog out, taking the kids to one of the 2 playgrounds that they have here. My daughter names the playgrounds based on the color that they are. So we've got a purple one and we got a brown one. It's either the brown playground or the purple playground. But check this out. So you've got this little hill mound that I'm walking up right now. But when we get to the top, check out some of the scenery behind me. Santa Catalina Mountains, beautiful view, lots of trees. Now I haven't been to one of the events that they host at the park here on this space in particular. I'll turn you around so you can take a look at this. But this is kind of an elevated hill and they have like almost like a stage, like an outdoor stage set up there. Be perfect for like an outdoor movie. I'm sure you could probably rent this area for an event if you wanted to. Movie nights in the park would be a pretty good idea. Let me know in the comments. You think that's a good idea? We should start doing when it cools off. We're at the tail end of summer now, so the night times are gonna be kind of cool. You could cozy up on a blanket with the family, put a little projector screen up there. One of those cult classics, right? It's kind of a perfect spot for that. Just wanna give you a glimpse of this park because it is incredible. So you got the purple park, as my daughter would call it. You got the library over there. This dirt area is kind of a walking path through there. And the brown park is over there. I'll get you a glimpse of that as well. You've got basketball courts, big ramada area. Sometimes I just come to this park to just sit on top of this hill and just kind of take it in. Living in the city, having a big 24-acre park like this gives you a little bit of little bit of that outdoor feel. Get away from the concrete, get some grass, get some greenery. You know, I'm definitely an outdoors person. Anytime that I can get outdoors, mind you, when it's not 147 degrees outside, but when the temperature is nice, I want to be outside. I want to be outside. So I love having this park close. It's a very dog-friendly park as well. So we bring our dog here. She can chase the ball. They do have like unofficial dog meetups at this park as well. There's no designated area for dogs per se, but there is a group earlier in the morning in the summertime, and then later towards sunset in the summertime, and it goes on year round, but it's usually by one of these baseball fields where the dogs just kind of roam free. There's probably at any given time maybe 20 to 30 dogs just kind of roaming around. They all get along pretty well, chasing tennis balls, running around, chasing each other, doing dog things. So that's kind of fun. If you're a dog person, you want to socialize your dog a little bit, this is a great park for that. Here's a glimpse at that walking path. So as you can see, it's kind of a pretty wide path, just dirt, kind of walking through the trees, you know, little mini nature trail, I suppose. Some of you who like live on acreage or live out in the sticks are probably laughing at me right now because I'm walking through a park right in the middle of Tucson calling it a nature path, but you know, you got to work with what you got. You know, I've got trees, I've got birds. I'd call that nature. And I live right in the middle of the city. So they also do a monthly 5K around the park. So if you're a runner, that's something kind of fun to do. Pretty relaxed, pretty informal. It's organized by one of the residents that lives in Sam Hughes. I've met him, nice guy. And he puts on this 5K, and you can walk it, you can run it, you can show up and spectate, but that's every month. I think it's on like the first or second Saturday of the month, and the date might change. But again, just one of the many things that goes on at this park. It's a very vibrant park. Being part of the Sam Hughes neighborhood, as you would imagine, it's kind of a epicenter for all sorts of activities. You've got kids soccer. I'll turn you around so you can see the fields. Saturdays, this place is just crawling with kids giving it their best, you know, on the soccer field, and their parents and family members out to support them. They do a dance. There's like probably 50 to 60 people every other Sunday or so. They bring out a bunch of music and speakers, and over by that bench, there's a bunch of just dancing, just people that dance for like 2 hours. Me and my daughter will come by and watch them. Every once in a while, we'll get in the mix and dance a little bit too. You probably won't catch me dancing too much. I've been called a lot of things. A dancer is not necessarily one of those, but she'll get out there and shake it, show some moves. But just a big park. You can actually see the University of Arizona Stadium. Yeah, from Frisbee to baseball to soccer, people running through the park, kids playing, flying kites. It's got a bunch of open space for flying kites. It does have a pool that's located over there as well. And I'll take you over and we'll take a glimpse at that. But just a really, really cool part of the neighborhood of Sam Hughes. And I think definitely from my perspective as a resident of Sam Hughes, it definitely adds something. It gives me even more desirability to a neighborhood like Sam Hughes because of how big the park is, how much activities it is, how active it is in general. Here's a look at a bocce ball court that they just put in. This is like less than a year old. So they're actively making improvements to this park too. Big, big, big tall trees, lots of shade. It's just cool. It's just cool to be out. It's finally starting to cool off a little bit too. It's been kind of an interesting year. The heat has been lasted a little bit longer than it normally does, but always look forward to those winter months. Cools off, start to open your windows and doors at night, and just enjoy it. Enjoy that cool air. It's kind of funny that a lot of these older houses in Sam Hughes have fireplaces, and believe it or not, people really like fireplaces here in the desert. If you're not from here, that might sound unusual because it's the summer The summer seems so hot, but it's more of an ambiance thing, you know? If it dips below 60 degrees and it calls for a fire and you're trying to get in that ambiance of that Christmas spirit, or around Thanksgiving, or just a relaxing night with an open flame in your living room, make sure you have a fireplace. Don't just light a fire on the living room floor. But yeah, it's nice. We have a fireplace in our house. Our house was built originally in the 1920s. We had an option to, when we were renovating it, ditch the fireplace or keep it. We decided to keep it. We're glad we did. Converted it to gas, so it's super easy to turn on and off. Doesn't smoke, you know, it's not messy. We don't have to clean it. So anyway, there's my 2 cents about fireplaces. So there's a look at one park, Purple Playground, excuse me. Small, it's good for smaller kids, I would say 2 to 5, something like that. Some small slides. It's got kind of a nice soft ground around it. Does have some shade. You got some swing sets over here. Again, nice little picnic area. Another table over there. If you have kids, you know how important the playground is, because there's only so much that you can do at your house. So many times you can jump off and on the couch before you need to switch it up a little bit. So this is a game changer for me and my family. And the cool thing is I got 2 parks. So when this little purple park gets kind of old, we head to the brown one. Brown one's a little bit bigger, definitely more accommodating for bigger kids, older ages, 5+, something like that. I'm definitely not the expert on the age range of these equipment, but that's a general idea. So here's the library, Himmel Park Library. The entrance is on the other side. Fairly large building. They do some like children's books readings in here, and if you like the fact that you've got a library close, then one more thing to add to the list, check that box. All right, so we covered the north and east part of the park. Now we're on the other side of the park, which is the western side of the park, and this is where the notorious brown playground is. Like I said, that's the inside scoop. It's the inside scoop per my daughter. So check out some of these murals. I'll flip you around. So this is the pool area. Tucson's famous for some of their awesome murals that they have sprinkled throughout the city. This is done by one of the muralists that has done a lot of the incredible murals that you'll see around town. His name's Joe. I think his signature is over here somewhere. Let's take a peek. Kind of cool, right? Little lizard and a Gila monster reading some books together. Joe Pagic. There you go. So pretty cool. Lots and lots of grass at this park. And in Tucson, we like grass for sure. So right now I'm walking up to this bigger playground. You can kind of get a glimpse at it. It's right next to the basketball courts as well. So if you like to play some basketball, you got that as an option. We'll walk over to the park, or after this, we'll walk over to the pool, take a peek in there. Now, the pool does have some kind of weird hours. I will say that is a bit of a point of frustration for us as a family that wants to use the pool, because the pool is only open from like 2 to 6, and it's only open like 2 months out of the year. So it almost doesn't even make sense a whole lot of the times to try to go to the pool, because it's either during a nap time or, you know, it's right at the peak heat of the day. But nonetheless, it is wet, and when it's open, if you need some pool time, it's available. But you can see you've got 2 parks. This is kind of a bigger kid area here, and you've got more of a tot area here. This big covered ramada. Lots of birthday parties go down here. I know they put jumping castles and all sorts of stuff over there. Me and my daughter, some of our favorite things to do is to come and crash other people's birthday parties. So if we've crashed your birthday party, if you saw a random bald guy and a cute curly headed kid crashing your birthday party, sorry, but also thanks for letting us jump in the bounce house there. So yeah, just a cool area. They got this other big ramada area here. I'll walk you past real quick. And you can rent this area out. So whether you're trying to do a party, want to do some kickball, you know, do a volleyball tournament out here, do a birthday party for the kids. They've got this nice ramada that they just built. Again, in the last couple years, they finished this up. A lot of space for picnic tables there. Cool area to kind of rent out, hang out. And then you've got the basketball courts. Not full court, play half court, it's good enough. Got some drinking fountains, a little blue thing over there. Ooh, one thing that I want to show you about this park that is super unique. Now, I've probably mentioned in this video, but my family's been here for a very long time. 150 years, more than 150 years actually. My dad's family's been in this town. So there's a lot of memories all through this city for my father and previous generations, but let me turn you around. This slide is one of the original slides that was at this park. And I don't even know, from probably the 40s, maybe, taking a total shot in the dark. I know my dad was born in 1950, and he said that he used to go down this slide when he was a kid. So I would imagine it's at least 70 years old, at least. And the swing set is part of it. This is part of the original park design. And from what I've heard, talking to the older generation, is there used to be an old train that they had parked here for the kids to play on, like an old train engine. But as you can imagine, this thing has seen some activity, all metal. I kind of laugh every time I see this slide too, because it's, if you can't tell, it's just straight metal. You know, nowadays they make it out of plastic, which from a heat perspective, I don't know that it makes too much of a difference. I know I'm going in on slides right now, but just hang with me because it's kind of funny. This is entirely made of metal. In the summertime, the temperature of this slide is probably exactly 4,000 degrees. And the amount of butts that slide has absolutely scorched in the last 70 years. Whew, man, that's the MVP right there. That has claimed a lot of bare skin. But there's a little bit of history about the park. Now let's wander over here to the pool area real quick. It's not open, so I won't be able to take you a full tour around it, but what I can do is pop through the fence. You can take a peek at it real quick. So here's the entrance. Kind of a funny, this pool has been here forever as well, so very, very old. Probably 50, 60, maybe more, 60 years old plus. But check out the smiley face. You got the two eyes, the nose, the mouth. They've got this old dedication right here. If you come to the park, you can read it. 1936, there you go. Boom, 1936. So, very old pool. And they just redid it. They just redid the cool coating, redid a lot of the tiling, the pools, the interior, the plastering. So they're doing a lot of renovating to the park year over year, which is nice. Keeps it up, keeps it popular. So there you go, that's Himmel Park. And you can see why, with all the things that this park has to offer, why it's such just an added value of living in Sam Hughes, to have a park like this right around the corner at your fingertips. You can use it. There you have it. There's everything that makes Sam Hughes Sam Hughes, and by now you're practically a local. So if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Until next time, I hope to see you around the neighborhood.